If you think the Aztec Empire fell simply because the Spanish had better weapons, you're missing the real story. Because what destroyed one of the most powerful civilizations on Earth wasn't muskets. It was a deadly combination of fear, manipulation, betrayal, and a man who lied his way into becoming a god. This is the dark truth behind the fall of the Aztec Empire, the story they never taught you. The Empire of Gold. In the early 1500s, the Aztec Empire was a superpower. A network of millions ruled from the floating city of Tenochtitlan, a shimmering metropolis built on a lake, more advanced and cleaner than any European capital at the time. Its ruler, Moctezuma II, controlled vast armies, gold mines, and an economy built on tribute from conquered states. To the Aztecs, he was more than a king. He was chosen by the gods. But far beyond the ocean, a man driven by greed was preparing to destroy it all. The liar from Spain. Hernán Cortés wasn't supposed to conquer anything. He was ordered only to explore. But Cortés didn't care. He wanted fame, gold, and immortality, and he would break any rule to get it. In 1519, he arrived on the coast of Mexico with just 600 men, 16 horses, and a few cannons. The Aztecs had an empire. Cortés had ambition. But ambition, in this story, proved deadlier than armies. The prophecy that doomed a nation. For years, the Aztecs believed a prophecy. A feathered god, Quetzalcoatl, would return from the east. Cortés arrived from the east. White skin. Beard. Shiny armor glowing in the sun. Moctezuma received reports describing this strange figure. Fear spread through the palace. What if the god had returned? What if resisting him would anger the heavens? Cortés didn't deny the rumor. He used it. A lie became a weapon. The journey to the capital. As Cortés marched inland, he didn't rely on force, he relied on deceit. He manipulated native tribes who hated Aztec rule, promising them freedom. He had no intention of giving it. But his charm and lies worked. Tens of thousands joined him. And his greatest advantage? A young Nahua woman named Malintzin, La Malinche, gifted in diplomacy, brilliant in languages. With her, Cortés turned conversations into manipulation, peace treaties into traps, and alliances into weapons. City of Miracles. When Cortés reached Tenochtitlan, he was stunned. Floating gardens. Stone causeways. Palaces rising from the water. Moctezuma welcomed him, not with hostility, but with gifts, food, and gold. Big mistake. Cortés took advantage of the emperor's hospitality. He walked inside the palace like a friend, and then seized Moctezuma as a hostage. A peaceful welcome turned into a deadly betrayal. The Spanish take control. With Moctezuma captured, the Spanish moved through the city like parasites, stealing gold, intimidating nobles, demanding control. But tension grew. Whispers spread. People realized this god bled like any man. Everything exploded when the Spanish massacred unarmed Aztec nobles during a religious ceremony, cutting them down in front of thousands. Tenochtitlan erupted. Moctezuma tried to calm the people, and was killed by a stone thrown from the crowd. Whether the stone was thrown by his own people or the Spanish remains debated, but his death shattered the empire. Cortés had lost his puppet, and the city wanted blood. A Noche Triste, the night of sorrow. On June 30th, 1520, the Aztecs struck. Warriors descended from rooftops, spears rained from bridges, and canoes swarmed the canals. The Spanish tried to escape with piles of stolen gold weighing down their pockets. Most drowned. Others were dragged from the water and sacrificed. Cortés himself barely escaped. He cried under a tree, the famous Noche Triste. The Aztecs had won a great victory. But something worse than soldiers was coming. The real killer arrives. When Cortés fled, he left behind one of the deadliest forces in history. Zobos. The disease tore through Tenochtitlan like fire. Children, warriors, nobles, farmers, all fell. The plague killed up to 40% of the population, including the new emperor. An empire weakened by lies was now being destroyed by a virus. The final siege. Cortés returned with reinforcements, native armies, and a cold plan: starve the city. Spanish ships blockaded the lake. Food and water ran out. Bodies floated in the canals. The once glorious city became a graveyard. After 75 brutal days, the Aztecs surrendered. Tenochtitlan was burned. Temples destroyed. Books erased. A civilization crushed. But the truth remains. They didn't fall because the Spanish were stronger. They fell because the Spanish were ruthless, and because deceit can break even the greatest empires. History isn't just stories, it's warnings. If you love powerful, shocking truths about ancient civilizations, then don't stop here. Hit subscribe, drop a like, and tell me which empire I should uncover next. The darker the history, the deeper we go.